U.S. officials now confirming to Fox News that Iran has test-fired a ballistic missile late Wednesday, in another sign of the escalating tensions that we're seeing between the United States, Iran, and its Gulf neighbors. Lucas Tomlinson, live tonight at the Pentagon with the story. Good evening, Lucas.
Good evening, Martha. It turns out North Korea wasn't the only rogue nation launching missiles over the past few days. Iran was, too. A U.S. official tells me Iran test-fired a new medium-range ballistic missile Wednesday night known as the Shahab-3. The missile flew 600 miles from southern Iran to northern Iran, landing outside the capital city of Tehran in the desert. A short time ago, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo told Bret Baier Iran's work on missile programs continues.
They continue to engage in malign activity. They continue to build out their missile program. They continue to work on their nuclear systems. And yet they want to tell the world that, no, they're just defensive and they're just being a normal nation, and we all see differently.
Now, North Korea's state media has released a report about the regime's firing of 2 short-range missiles into the East Sea. That happened on early Thursday morning local time. It strongly criticized South Korea, saying the missile launch was done to warn Seoul against its upcoming joint military exercise with the United States. It added that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un personally organized the test. Oh Jung-hee has this report.
Some strong words of warning from North Korea on Seoul's upcoming joint military exercise with the U.S. next month. On Friday, Pyongyang state-run Korean Central News Agency reported that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un personally organized and oversaw the North's missile launch on Thursday. It said firing the new tactical guided weapon was an intended show of force.
Fast-moving scene outside Los Angeles, a deadly rampage today, 4 different crime scenes. Authorities say the horror beginning in the middle of the night at the family home. Investigators say that's where a son shot and killed his father and brother and shot his mother, her condition unknown. After starting at home, then tracking him to several other sites, a gas station and then a bank and then a city bus. Late today, police moving in, and ABC's Clayton Sandell leads us off from California tonight.
Tonight, the deadly Southern California crime spree spread across 4 different scenes, with 4 people dead, just now coming to an end. Officers in the San Fernando Valley near L.A. spending a tense 13 hours hunting for a man they say shot his entire family, but didn't stop there.
Go ahead and add EMS. I got a total of 3 victims.
Roger, 3 victims.
The first call at 1:50 a.m. in a Canoga Park apartment building. Police say 26-year-old Jerry Zaragoza killed his father and brother. He also shot and wounded his mother.
Dozens of police hunting 2 teenage murder suspects in a remote Canadian town believe they could have the young men cornered. Officials have confirmed 2 sightings of the fugitives in Gillam after 80 tip-offs in 48 hours.
Remote wilderness swarming with police negotiators, tactical officers and their assault vehicles. All signs now pointing to teen fugitives Cam McLeod and Bryce Migelski hiding here.
We believe they are still in the area.
Officers are running a 24/7 checkpoint on the road leading into town, looking in vehicles and questioning drivers about their movements. Specialist units searched this abandoned building, going through 600 rooms one by one. Police say they've now ruled out any stolen cars being connected to the suspected killers, who are accused of murdering Sydney man Lucas Fowler and his girlfriend, as well as a Vancouver professor.
A veterans group in the US claims YouTube has rejected its advert because it contained the word Christian, something the video sharing platform apparently deemed unacceptable. Chad Robichaud, first off, the president and founder of the group, gives us his side of the story.
So we've had different types of censorship in the past, maybe more suppression, but this was the first time that we had ad denied for a specific keyword, Christian, which is a big part of our marketing. We are a faith-based organization that markets to reaching military guys who are struggling with post-traumatic stress, divorce, issues with their military service. We're not a political organization. We do not have a political agenda. We're a faith-based Christian ministry who's trying to reach a particular group of veterans who are struggling.
Two of the country's most famous military units are under intense scrutiny today over troubling incidents on opposite sides of the world. A human smuggling investigation led to the mass arrest of 16 Marines from the 1st Marine Division yesterday at Camp Pendleton in California. 2 other Marines were arrested and charged earlier this month. Now, the accusations range from smuggling illegal immigrants into the country to drug-related offenses.
And in a separate case, an entire platoon of elite Navy SEALs was sent home from Iraq over allegations of sexual misconduct and drinking while deployed. Jamie Yukis is at Camp Pendleton, that's north of San Diego. Jamie, what more do we know?
Well, this is what we know right now, Tony. Those 16 Marines are in the brig on the base, and authorities here say they've already questioned 8 additional Marines. Marines are known for their discipline and dedication to country, but in the past month, authorities here have arrested 18 Marines from this base.
A force of deterrence in the most dangerous waters in the world. The crew on the U.S. Navy ship Carson City are preparing to head to the shores of Nigeria on a tour of duty in the Gulf of Guinea.
But from my understanding,
here more ships are attacked by pirates than anywhere else in the world.
With our radar system and our lookouts, we have potential to see any threats that are approaching us and miles out. So before any piracy issue would take place, we will have notification well in advance.
While the Trump administration says it's pulling back U.S. troops in Africa, in March, the U.S. Navy organized the largest naval games on the continent, involving 33 countries and 3,000 personnel.
That would probably make
Admiral Fogo says securing the Gulf of Guinea is of strategic importance.
We talk about the blue economy because the maritime is so important. 90% of our commerce worldwide goes by sea.
We start with an update on our breaking news story, that of the seizure by Ukraine of a Russian tanker earlier today. It's now being said that the crew have been released. Kiev said the boat had been detained near the Odessa region for allegedly blocking the Kerch Strait during an incident in November. Donald Corder is joining us here in the studio with more. Donald, bring us up to speed on the latest.
Well, Jackie, we received that information within the hour that Ukraine had released the tanker's 10 Russian crew members without any charges being filed. The human rights commissioners of both Ukraine and Russia were able to broker their return via Moldova, from which they'll be flying back to Moscow. Now, Ukraine's security services originally seized this civilian vessel, claiming it was part of an act of aggression orchestrated by Russia. And the Ukrainians alleged that it was blocking passage of other ships through the Kerch Strait, located between the Azov and Black Seas. The vessel's communications records were seized, and the crew was interviewed afterwards, according to Ukrainian authorities.
SNP Westminster leader Ian Blackford predicts Boris Johnson could be the last Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, with many Scottish people angered at the result of the Tory leadership election.
The Prime Minister-elect has no mandate in Scotland. He has no mandate from the people. The government he is busy forming has no mandate in Scotland. Mr. Speaker, Scotland deserves better. A Snap YouGov poll shows 60% of people in Scotland are dismayed and disappointed by the new Prime Minister.
Earlier, I was joined by founder of pro-Scottish independence group Hope Over Fear, Tommy Sheridan. He told me that Boris Johnson's government lacks legitimacy and thinks the United Kingdom will collapse.
Together for the mountain! After more than a week of protests by native Hawaiians and activists, the government in Honolulu was forced to act. This week, the state's governor visited the controversial construction site of the 30-meter telescope project, pledging to listen to the concerns of the protesters. The demonstrators say the project would desecrate the sacred grounds of the Hawaiian mountain. And the governor now recognizes their grievances, saying he's willing to work with the protesters.
We are committed to finding a way forward in a peaceful manner. and certainly looking forward to the dialogue and much conversation that will be required as we move forward.